An alarming report on our nation's schools being felt here at home. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reports shows the possibility of widespread cheating on achievement tests. Out of nearly 70,000 schools nationwide the paper investigated, only 200 school districts raised enough red flags to make the so-called troubled list. 3 of those schools were here in West Michigan. Ryan Takeo talked to a superintendent of one of the districts named in that report, and Ryan joins us live tonight from Jenison with more. Ryan.
Larry, good evening. The Jenison superintendent says he dispelled the notion of cheating here. He said that the numbers show hard work and reflect positive growth.
If you do too well, then you're going to be accused of cheating.
Tom Tenbrink says the numbers game can be tricky, and he says Jenison Schools has not cut corners, but instead worked hard, especially the past 5 years.
Bottom line, we adjusted our curriculum to match the core curriculum that was being tested.
This story started in Atlanta. The Journal-Constitution newspaper found test scores didn't add up. An investigation into Atlanta schools found systemic cheating. This weekend's report found about 200 districts across the country with suspicious scores that resemble those that entangle Atlanta. One of those listed was Jenison, where the paper said in 2008, 12.5% of students' scores were flagged as being outside the norm. Joining Jenison on the list are 2 other West Michigan schools. Forest Hills Schools, which had 2 years where more than 10% of the scores were different than the norm, and Hudsonville Schools, which saw a huge spike in scores from 2008 to 2009 and nearly 20% flagged scores in 2010. The report stresses this does not mean these districts are cheating, merely early indicators that signaled issues in Atlanta.
We make sure and double check and triple check the integrity of the tests.
Issues Tenbrink says his district takes no part in.
And Tenbrink also complained that stats can show mixed messages. He pointed to the fact that the district has not shown enough growth when it comes to Governor Rick Snyder's proposed budget for some extra per pupil funding. We also heard back from the Forest Hills superintendent. He says that none of his internal numbers show any outliers or spikes like the Atlanta Journal-Constitution numbers did. We also put in a call to the Hudsonville School superintendent. We have not yet heard back from him. We're live in Jenison. I'm Ryan Takeo, 24 Hour News 8.